Welcome to the DaChop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, Twins Inc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our Barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up. We back.
Yo, good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? It's Sunday.
Beautiful Sunday.
We good.
All right.
No, you go ahead. You can say whatever.
All right. Well, you know what? Because I normally, I enjoy letting twins get the intro going, and we just jump in and roll. But today, I was actually this isn't a gear grinder.
Not at all.
But it's something that I think needs to be heard
and said
to our community, to our subscribers.
Here's what they think about you.
Listen. So I want to give a huge shout out to a content creator who I absolutely enjoy, the Crimson Cure. Since I became aware of her on the Lapeef network. She was a panelist for a little while.
Salute to them as well.
Yep, salute. She interacted a little bit, and she's shown I became aware of her before Kevin Samuel's passing. I thought she was incisive. I thought I liked her delivery, and I just like her. I like her flow. I like her energy, right? But it wasn't until after Kevin passed that while everybody was out looking for something. You know what I'm saying? We was all looking for something, and I like the way she's respected and carried on his memory. She does her own thing, but she's an excellent substitute in Kevin's absence, right? So if you haven't listened to her, the Crimson Cure, her name is Kendra. She does a show.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it's Monday through Friday, but she has a lot of content, and it is huge. It's so good. I put my ex-wife onto it. I put a couple of my female friends onto it. Normally, I don't share red pill content because what's the point? But having a woman say some of the things that needed to be said, it's worth hearing, right? So anyway, a couple of days ago, she did a show called the 15. They're watching black. I can't even tell you the name of the show off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. She did a show, and they were talking about the traits of a high value woman, not from the manosphere, the internet perspective, our perspective. It was a company called alux.com, ALUX.com, that put together that compilation. And when she did the review of it, it sounded like they cloud watched just a lot of KS, her stuff, Crimson Cure. Though these people, whoever alux.com are, they are literally cloud watching what we're doing, and they're taking it and trying to distill it down to their audience. This website, YouTube channel has 4.5 million subscribers. So they're larger than anybody in our space. But they're straight up cloud watching everything we do, right? So the Crimson Cure was so gracious to break down the 15 signs of a high value woman. She said she wasn't even going to bother with the low value one because we always talk about it, but we're going to bother with it. So we're going to break up a video that they put out a few days ago, like within the last week.
I want to say it was last Monday.
Okay, less than a week. It is 15 signs of a low value woman. Now, I'll be honest, this is full disclaimer. I don't want to talk about this to prove my point. When we talk about stuff on our channel, we go off a lot. But we know who we're talking to. We encourage our audience to call us. If you really don't like what we got to say, put it in the chat, put it in the comments, call in. We'll talk to you about it. We can discuss it. But we're not cloud watching and then offering critique about you to people who don't even know you. or trying to talk those people out of dealing with you in the future. But just listen.
All right, and before you hit play, I want to give Miss Cripps and Cure her kudos and stuff. So the show that we're talking about, we saw on her platform. The topic of the show was "The World is Watching the Value of a Woman." That's the title. That's the title. The world is watching the value of a woman. Okay, so this is what we saw first, and we listened to her content, and she's got really good content, and she also is talking about the same thing we're about to discuss today in this video we're about to play, so you can hear the audio and content. And once again, this is not like Seth Starchild just said. We're not here trying to prove a point to say what was right, X, Y, Z. We just want you to know how they think about you.
Yeah,
Just want to be very clear. And then when you watch this video on what's it called again?
Alux.com.
Alux. So if you go to their webpage, not webpage, but their YouTube channel, watch this video. When they're speaking about this high value woman, I want to be crystal clear when I say this. They're not talking about sisters.
They even say some specific language that pretty much low key indicates they're not talking about you.
And we're going to let them say it. I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth, right?
Yep.
But I just want to make sure you know, because I mean, this one video when I watched it had 71,000 views. When I went to, I didn't even watch the whole video. I just went to the page and whatever, and anyway, long story short, 71,000 views.
Yep.
And that was that Monday. It's probably more now.
Yep.
But I want you to understand, when we start talking about high value, low value, where was this conversation about this at before Kevin Samuel? I'll wait. Nowhere. Nobody was talking about it. No man, no woman. So salute to the godfather of talking about the topic of high value man and he talked about high value man because there's no such thing as high value woman. There is, but to a certain extent when he's talking about the value in the woman. But that's another topic. But the high value man is what he coined, and everybody's ran with it. We're not talking about today. I want to be crystal clear. This is what they think about you. Go ahead, Seth the Dark Child. Let's kick it off.
Well, and we're going to get started. Listen, once again, here's what they think about you. They have it broken out into sections. I'm going to let the entire section play. I'm going to try my absolute best to maintain our commentary until after the section. I want y'all to hear what they're saying. It's important because it isn't looking good, but here's what they think about you. So without any further ado, anything you want to say before I hit play?
Go ahead.
Once again, here's what they think about you.
Our growth comes from honesty, which is why people subscribe to us, and you should too. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Here are...
Wait. Future billionaires come to get inspired. Future billionaires. I just wanted to interrupt. I said I wouldn't. Fair use. Before we hit play, fair use. We are going to make commentary for educational purposes on this video. Here we go.
18 signs of a low-value woman. Number 1, delusionally inflated sense of value. These kinds of women don't actually bring much to the table. She just thinks she does. They always say they're strong and independent women that are unmarried by choice, that men are intimidated by them when, in reality, high-value men typically avoid them because they don't want to deal with it. This is why some straight women will say, "A man can't handle me." They live in a fantasy land. Many of them are waiting on this outdated idea of a Prince Charming because the media had sold this to them as kids. And no matter who you are, what you do, a knight in shining armor will come and pull you out of your village and put you in a castle. Some of them even believe they look like the filters that they keep using on their photos. They're the ones who light up candles in order to manifest the man of their dreams. They're entitled. They're usually a single child that's been extremely spoiled, despite coming from an average or below average family, and now doesn't understand their actual value in a relationship or in the world, because their parents have given them everything they asked for without much effort, so they expect the same from the world. In her mind, she's a queen, and in real life, she's just average, works an average job in an average apartment, living an average life. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with average. But because she believes she's a queen, she's looking for a king, and she wants to change them. She might look at men as a work in progress, as a pet project that needs to rise to the level of her imagination, a level that she's unable to reach herself. That's why no partner is ever good enough for her. High confidence, when not backed by true value, is unagreeable. Many women live in what is possible, while men tend to go for what is probable. And nobody wants to deal with unrealistic expectations. Number 2.
Hold on, wait. Before you go in.
I'm not.
One thing she said average. And she said, there's nothing wrong with average.
Average at best.
Average at best. We know how that went viral.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Seth. I just want to say that part.
No, I don't. Once again, I don't have a whole bunch of throw. Did you listen to what she said? You live in delusion. If this isn't something Kevin has preached about God, I miss that man. So it's like I lost my father. God, it's obvious that they're looking at what we're saying. They watched all of his shows. They realized that certain people of our complexion are living in delusions. But they didn't specifically say a whole bunch that pointed directly towards black women right then. But you did catch the queen's part, right? They weren't talking about white women when they said that. Just do you know this? All right, you live in delusions. You spoil. You have a princess complex, even though you work a mediocre job. Ladies, and people of my complexion, ladies, here's what they think about you. And by the way, I fully admit that all of these talking points, they shoveled this to you in the media, on news and social media, on TV and the movies. This is what they shovel to you, but behind closed doors, here's what they think about you. Anything else? You want to go to the next one?
Number 2.
They play games. Low-value women play games with men that they believe are beneath them. They feel like they can walk away and not lose that much. They're the ones who walk away just because they want to see you chase after them.
Lower hard.
She's always testing you. They operate within gray areas. They flirt with others, but don't want you to do the same. She operates in drama, in gossip, because creating chaos makes her feel powerful because it's her creating the chaos. Number 3.
Once again, if that didn't just describe Larsa Pippen, if that didn't describe Lori Harvey, if that doesn't describe even Sierra twerking on the car, disrespecting Russell Williams, they're watching you. They're looking at you. You falling. All the women that are the queens of the black community, they think are low value. We didn't make this video up. Should I turn the volume? I mean,
No.
The volume's good.
It's coming in clear.
I mean, here's what they think about you. I'm gonna say that after every section. This isn't us talking. This isn't two black guys in front of a camera talking. We're playing a video from a website with white people listening to, and everything. This is like a direct attack on everything that we as black people and black women specifically have to deal with and live with. Here's what they think about you.
And also, I just wanted to say too, when I said earlier in the conversation, when I watched the video, I went to the YouTube channel last Monday. Actually, it was Tuesday. He sent to me Monday, but I didn't get a chance to get to it on Tuesday. Okay. So at Tuesday, when I went to it, they had over 77,000 views.
Okay.
That was Tuesday. Today is Sunday. And as of Sunday, they have over 207,000 views. Not 200, 200,000. 200,007 views. And the video only has been up in 7 days.
Wait. I readily admit that 2 of those views are mine because I watched it the first time, then I watched it again to think about it, and this third time we're watching. So I'm guilty of 3 of those.
Okay, I'm guilty of 2 though. I went to the ones and now I'm on it now just so I can see the views, but that's 5. But out of 5, there's other people over 200 sometimes the watch. So 202 views since the last 7 days this video came out. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a video that we created. Like, I want you to make sure you listen to understand what we're saying here. This is not us taking a shot at you. And for me personally, twin speaking, I want to know if you're going to keep the same energy that you have for KS. Because
they need some smoke.
Because if you don't, it shows you how we see how black men is being treated now. Right? And then that's another sore spot for us, right?
Yep.
So it's like, okay, so you want me to protect you want me to do all this, but you let your cousin over there, distant cousin, talk about you, and you won't say a word. How's that make any sense?
Yeah. I'm just saying, go get your straightening, girl. Go put some Vaseline under your eye and go get that fight. You know, you want to go off on passport bros for going out of the country to try to find somebody to be happy with. Everything that we're complaining about in our community, on our videos over the last couple of years, just listen to the rest of this video. Everything that they're saying, we've been complaining about, and they came to their own conclusions. This is on you, ladies, but once again, just to make sure you heard me say it the first 500 times, here's what they think about you.
And also make sure, listen with their talking points. They're talking about what is a low-value woman first. So they're saying this is what a low-value woman is, and then they turn around and talk about what a high-value woman is. Listen to what they're saying. This is what they think about you.
Rick?
Insults and shames others. She belittles people. Maybe not you while she's trying to impress you, but others. And it's just a matter of time and positioning until she does the same to her partner. They treat the waiters and the staff poorly. She's impolite through her behavior. Low-value women insult and shame the people they're with. They compare them to the athletes and high-value men just to make them feel weak and ashamed that you can't provide the same level of lifestyle that these other people can. In her delusion, she feels entitled to that kind of lifestyle. And because most women are physically weaker than men, a low-value woman will rely on inflicting emotional pain. She'll dig into a partner's soul and use their insecurity to inflict that pain. She'll reference their mother, father, or siblings as patterns of poor behavior. Low-value women look down on men because of their height or other physical attributes outside of one's control. You see it all the time. The moment they start losing arguments, they go straight for insults. And speaking of, number 4, loud.
Listen, I don't heard ladies. Listen, I was watching this TV show. It's like a dating game on TV, and there's two people. They're sitting back to back to each other, right? Man and woman, and they're trying to this dating game. They're getting to know each other. First thing the woman said out of her mouth. No, woman, get right to it. How tall are you? He's like, oh, dude's like, that's how we doing it. Okay, I'm 5'9". And he's like, okay, so how tall are you? She's like 5'11". And her face reaction like, yeah, this is done. She even see dude. She don't know what dude looks like. She don't know how much money he make. He don't know his career, his driven, what he's doing. They don't care. It could be 5'9". It could be somebody like Steph Curry behind him or something like that. No, Steph Curry's taller than that. But I'm just saying, even somebody, it could be somebody who's an athlete behind him and shouldn't even know because he's 5'9", right? And she did him. She just said, the lady just said that they look at men and talk about their height and everything. No, go ahead, Steph.
No, 1,000. Once again, all of you, he got to be over 6 feet, girl. I just can't talk to nobody under 6 feet. Right there, low value. It's not that you can't enjoy tall men. It's that when you base trying to meet a person who you should meet on some superficial BS. Once again, men and women are different. Men are the visual ones. We want you to be pretty. We're not supposed to be the pretty ones, but y'all change that. They disagree. They're calling that low value. Here's what they think about you. You get loud. Oh, and how about this? How about the shame and insult? If you tell black men specifically, you know what we've learned the hard way? Don't tell a woman nothing she can use against you later. Right there. We learned this from every woman. every woman does this that I've dealt with, of my complexion. Let me correct that, because I've actually had some positive experiences. But every woman of my complexion that I deal with, let us have an argument about something. My mama ain't no good. My mama's a bitch. Blah 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 blah. Your sister did this. Something. Your niece did this. It's going for the throat. And God forbid let me get hurt. That's why you broke your arm trying to throw a base. This never happened. You can't even throw a baseball. This did not happen. I'm just saying, I've never broken an arm. Anyway, it's like, girl, how is that part of this conversation? You don't care. You just went for the throat. You were losing the argument, and so you threw some trash into it to change the focus of the conversation.
Listen,
that's low value.
I just saw a video where the guy was talking about he paid $500 a month in child support, right? Mm-hmm. And he's married to his wife, right? And he went live, and he's like, "Listen, fellas," it's a conversation to everybody online. He said, "I pay $500 a month for child support. My mother, my kids, my son or daughter, or my child need new shoes. And I want to go buy new shoes." And he was talking. She jumped in, cut him off. "Oh, no, you not. You ain't buying no kids." And she went off on him, right? And then I was done, because at one point she said, "F your kid and F you. If you going to live in this house and spend money like $500, that's all she get." Blah, 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 blah. It went crazy. But that insult, guilt need to be right.
Sign language is everything we always talk about.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they think about you. Number 4.
And speaking of, number 4, loud and inarticulate. There's a saying, money yells, wealth whispers. And it's the same here. You hear it all the time. Loud in public, yelling, screaming, causing a scene, and making no sense whatsoever. For these kinds of women, feelings are superior to facts. She feels rage, so she's right, and you don't dare explain to her otherwise. Low-value women lack the ability to communicate effectively and efficiently. She lacks the vocabulary needed or the ability to chain ideas and explain them in a way that leads to a solution to whatever problem she believes she's addressing. Not to mention, they're causing a scandal even when there's no valid reason for it. These are the in-your-face kinds of women. She throws things. She'll even shit in your bed if she has to. These women will make you feel like a prisoner in your own relationship. Damn. Number 5.
Hey, listen.
Shots fired.
I didn't experience the going off and loud in public because they mad about something.
Bruh.
And when she said not able to articulate, what she's saying that when she going off about whatever situation, all she's doing is screaming, using vulgar language, right? Swearing at you, X, Y, Z. But I'm like, but tell me exactly what's going on. Like, use your word. I even said to her, I said, can you use other words besides cuss words? Because it shows me the lack of knowledge that you have. And I guess I hit a nerve because she kept going on when it got worse. But I'm like, yo, you can have an argument, just talk about it. But all these name dropping and all these F-bombs and B this and all that shows the lack of knowledge that you really have. Mm-hmm. But they claim to be the most educated. But once again, this is what they think about you. Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah. A few days ago, I saw a video of a lady, a guy and a lady from Ohio getting a ticket in the park in a park in Atlanta, right? And the officer offered a citation to the male and the female. He gave it to the male first. The male took it, signed it, shut up. You ain't hear nothing else from him until the later part. The young lady just couldn't stop. Didn't even make sense. Even listening to her, like, you sound like an idiot, right? Shut up already. Kept going until he started putting the handcuffs on her. And now all of a sudden she crying, telling me, "Oh, do right." But once again, you got loud. You created a situation that didn't even exist. And now you want somebody to feel bad for you because you created a situation didn't even exist before you opened your mouth. You didn't have to do it. And who don't remember this? I just want to add it. It was a Tyler Perry movie or something like that. It was Bow Wow in it. He had a girl, and all she kept saying every time he tried talking with her, buy her in. You remember that? Because she just kept saying his name in the worst way possible.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember that
movie. I think it was
like
Lottery Ticket or something, I think. But either way, that ladies, they at no point in this video, spoiler alert, at no point in this video do they come right out and say they're talking about black women. But listen to what they're saying. Who else are they talking about? Some white women do this. Some Hispanic women do this. I've never seen an Asian woman do this, so no. But you know who they're talking about. All the people dancing on the tables at the club, at restaurants and stuff like this. This is what they're talking about. This is what, and this isn't two black guys saying this. This came from a site of a lighter complexion people. Here's what they think about you.
And we're just bringing to your attention of what they think about you. Number 5.
Children from...
Oh, sorry.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that?
You can do about YouTube commercials.
It's commercial, but it's okay.
Number 5.
Here we go.
Children from past relationships or marriages. Now, this is where all the single mama warriors will jump out at the opportunity to call us some names.
Wait, I know I was going to let it play, but the 80% of stat time, 80% of black children raised in the black community are being raised in single parent households. And of that 80% in single parent households, over 95% of those are female led single parent households. So 80+% of single mothers that they're talking about match my complexion or some shade of it.
We already told you we're going to be brutally honest here, and this one is about society expectations. Because the truth is, our actions have consequences. It doesn't matter if you were young, dumb, an accident, or entirely not your fault. From an objective, brutally honest perspective, here's how society sees the situation. Someone got you pregnant without any commitment of building a life together. And for the folks outside looking in, that can be a major red flag. That signals to society that this woman doesn't make the best choices. She wasn't able to hold a family together, and now she's trying to build a new one while bringing with her children from someone else. And realistically, that can be a major ask and sacrifice you're looking for someone else to make. The reality is, everyone is looking to maximize the value of their efforts. The children have no fault in this, but that doesn't mean the mom gets a free pass, and the choices you make in the past can disqualify you from certain things in the future. Most men want children of their own. Historically, men care about their legacy. It's been ingrained into their DNA to feel and reason this way for thousands of years of evolution, where only the strong had offspring. They work hard to create the best life for their own children, and every effort, every dollar, every second they spend with your existing kids is one that they have to take away from their own children or future children. And look, being divorced and having children from a previous marriage does not necessarily make you a low-value woman. But look at it like this. When given the choice, where all other variables are equal, things like fitness, brains, beauty, etc., most single men would almost always pick someone who doesn't have an ex and a few kids to bring with them, ranking women with no children higher in the social hierarchy. Number 6.
Let me say this. I wanted to say this so bad. Please bear with me. I need to get this right. In loving memory of KS, the Godfather. God damn it! You can't make this shit up. Sorry.
I ain't got nothing to say. I mean, she said it. So number 6.
If I hadn't heard Kevin Samuel say that night after night after night to women who just would not understand. Your children are your children. You might have made mistakes. You might have did some things in your life, but we don't care. The world doesn't owe you understanding. All I see is the facts in front of me, and I'm making the decision I want to make based on that. Your children might be perfectly...
You hit the button.
Yeah.
You hit the button.
Look like a search. Your children might be perfectly wonderful people. They might be awesome, but to me, they're just little people who are going to suck resources. They're not my little people. They're somebody else's little people you want me to bring McDonald's. I don't love your kids. I might love your kids if I get to know them, but today when I meet you, they're just fully mature sperm from some other man. We've all said this 1,000 times. Quit giving men you don't want to marry babies. Quit doing it.
Facts.
that people of a lighter complexion, the people who run this alux.com show, once again, fair use, they're telling you what they think about you behind closed doors. This website, I guarantee you not one person who subscribes to us ever heard of this website. And if it wasn't for me broadening my horizons, listening to the Crimson Cure, who heard about it specifically from one of her subscribers, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But millions of people are looking at this, and so what if you got a baby and you pretty and all that? You still, Kim K is low value. Kim K is low value. She had 4 kids with Kanye trying to date Pete Davidson. From a dating standpoint, Kim K is low value. But you know what? Don't disregard what we say, but here's what they think about you.
Out of shape. Fitness is a massive attribute in the way society perceives, judges, and ranks individuals. The healthier a person is, the more appealing they are, so the demand for that person increases just from a physical perspective. To many people, poor fitness signals a lack of self-awareness. They may not realize that they're not a healthy weight. A lack of self-esteem. They don't take themselves seriously because they don't take care of themselves. A lack of self-control. They just can't stop eating their feelings. And a lack of discipline. They're unable to follow a program and self-motivate. Plus, the more out of shape a person is, the more likely they are to experience illness and disease. And people will look at that and see the potential struggles of the future. The level of your fitness is under your control. Even with genetic complications, there are steps you can take to be in the best possible shape you can be. We actually live in the weirdest time in history where more people die of obesity-related complications than of hunger. Think of the flippening that happened. For centuries, only the rich were fat because only they had access to food. These days, on average, it's the rich who are fit and active, while the poor...
He must have hit the button too far.
No.
You trying to pause it?
No, you gotta...
The thing that's different about a Verbo vacation home, you always have the whole place to yourself.
Based on...
These days, on average, it's the rich who are fit and active, while the poor
I'll let
are...
you know the commercial come up in the future.
Yeah.
No, don't
Number 7.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, but once again, fit.
Fit
How many times have we heard that?
Wasn't it called FBI?
Fit, beautiful, and inspirational.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I am overweight. I own that. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm big boned or some crap like that. I know why I got fat, and I know I have to pay the price to lose weight. But that's on me. But from a woman's standpoint, because this is 15 signs of a low value woman, 80% of black women in the United States of America are considered obese. 80%. Do you see a message here? This is what they think about you. Kevin been preaching it, and y'all been arguing. I look good. I'm thick. And they love curves. I'm voluptuous. No, they don't. Nobody loves big ass people. You have big ass people like me pay for booty. I'm just saying, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? Big people don't get the benefit of being fit if you're not fit. Men can mitigate that by basically having money. But for you women, nobody likes a big woman. How many people chasing down Stacey Abrams talking about, "Shawty, you fine"? None.
Hey, what? You doing Stacey? You could have went.
Oh God, you almost don't.
I
do
mean,
that.
you went there. You could have went. Okay, anyway, I ain't taking shots at nobody.
I could have went Lonnie Love.
It don't matter. It don't even matter.
This
is what they think about you. Okay, I want y'all to understand. This is not.
You ain't gonna let me say no more names.
No.
You want me to,
this is not.
hammer time.
This is not what the DaChop Team is talking about. This is not us speaking. We just want y'all to understand. This is how they think about you. They went out there and packaged the whole Kevin Samuel experience. Now, flipped it around, and they're talking about high value women. Which at this point, if you've seen the video, they're talking about mainly about white women, but then they're starting out talking about low value women. They're talking about us, well, not us, but you ladies, my sisters. They're talking about you.
They are.
The ones who, you're a queen, you're this, you're that. They're talking about you. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, y'all laughed after the man's as he's dead. Y'all top bad boss man.
I celebrated that.
Y'all celebrated his man death. So now we got a whole nother group out there. Talking bad about you, and their views are still going up. It's only been 7 days. And granted, yeah, we're talking about them, so we're getting free promotion as well. But shoot, from Monday, 71,000. Today, Sunday, 200,000. So it's not of our doing. They're growing, and I'm sure. And I'm sure if I'm gonna go. Matter of fact, while we go over number 7, I'm gonna look through the comments and see what the comments say.
Yep. And once again, this is what they think about you. Lose weight. Like, for real, disregard what a big fat black guy, bald-headed black guy got to say. Ladies, 80% of our people are obese or overweight, of our black women. They, as a group, think that's low value. So that automatically points at 80% of all of our women are low value. That's their opinion. They ain't got nothing to do with being loud and bringing kids from other relationships. No, 80%. They automatically think 80% of y'all are off the table. But hey, you know what? We're on number 7. But that's what they think about you.
Trashy. Trashy in this case is the opposite of elegant stature.
Number 7.
Society values women who have grace, that show self-respect. Remember, others treat us the way that we treat ourselves. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. We're not looking to shame anybody, but from a probability perspective, in life, you get what you advertise. You can't behave in trashy ways and then be shocked that others don't value that behavior and aren't putting themselves on a silver platter for you. This is a two-way street. You need to take yourself seriously.
Take yourself seriously.
Number 8.
Take yourself seriously. Trashy. Once again, dancing on tables at restaurants for no good reason. I was at a wedding reception about 2 months ago. We were at a restaurant. On part of the patio, we were outside on the patio in the reserved area. It was a party going on, and they were twerking. It was older people in our party, and they young ladies of my complexion in race were over there twerking on tables. Why? No decorum. But hey, if I say something, I could be arguing and even end up in a fight with you just for trying to correct you. They're not going to say anything to you. They just consider you trashy and they move on because they don't mess with low value people. Message. Anything you want to say?
Number 8.
That was pretty self-explanatory, but just to make sure you heard me, if you didn't hear me the first dozen times we've said it, this is what they think about you.
Resolved trauma of the past. There are 4 billion women in the world. Statistically, some of them have had rough childhoods. Some had problems with their early relationships or haven't been able to develop themselves accordingly. That's why therapy is trending. You need to find ways to solve your past so it's not as much of a burden in the present. The more troubled, the more quote-unquote damaged, the higher maintenance you'll be. That's just a fact. And when we say maintenance here, we're not talking about money. We're talking about the amount of patience, time, and effort, levels that go above and beyond what's required in your average healthy relationship. This is a cost that someone will have to bear just to be with you, and if all other variables are the same, statistically, someone who doesn't need this much work to be done will be chosen more often and will excel in their life and careers. You are not responsible for what happened to you in your past. However, you are responsible for your healing and what happens to you in the future. Number 9.
One thing that Kevin Samuel always used to say to all of us, not just women, men as well, we need to seek counseling. Mm-hmm. Number 1, we all got some healing that we need to get through. Mm-hmm. But she said something very familiar.
We're not the more trauma that you have, the harder it's going to be for somebody to deal with you in the future. But I'm sorry, black women, they're talking about you. These hot girl summers and all that, that's just trauma. All of that trauma has to be dealt with. And when you get to the point where you really want to find a man and you're ready to settle down, you bring all that trauma to the table. That trauma is being brought straight to that table. And honestly, for the most part, we as black men, we're tired. We're tired of watching you hurt yourselves. Nobody's doing it. This is a choice. Nobody told you to put on walk around in some yoga pants with half of your body showing and then get harassed. And now you think all men are trash because you get harassed because of the way you dress. That was a choice. You got traumatized by the way they treated you, but you did it to yourself. And I have to show a lot of understanding and patience to deal with trauma you did to yourself. We're tired. But once again, Kevin, God rest that man. He put it on the table for you ladies night after night after night, and all he got was more and more hate and anger and just smoke. And at the end of the day, he was trying to help. He was talking to you. He was trying to get you to do better. He wanted you to go to therapy. They don't want you to go to therapy. They just think this about you. Next.
Controlling, jealous, and unable to show trust. Some women are obsessed with control. They're unable to show trust. Both being trustworthy and the ability to show trust are traits valued by society, peers, and potential partners. And this usually stems from personal insecurities. Deep down, they may think they're not worthy of the partner, or they have trust issues from past relationships. So they're constantly looking for reasons to measure them down or cast doubt over what they say. These are the women that go through their partner's phones, emails. They don't allow them to be in the presence of other women. They're always looking for fire, even when there isn't any smoke. Being in a relationship with these kinds of women makes the individual feel trapped and minimized. Nobody can build a life with someone who they don't trust or that doesn't trust them. For that's what committing to building anything of value is. Number 10.
I got nothing on this one. Listen to my previous response and just hit replay.
Yeah, I got nothing. Number 10.
A good time, not a long time. Just because you get a lot of attention from men doesn't mean you're a high-value woman.
IG.
Ranking...
Wait, I know I said I wasn't going to pause, but Kevin Samuels, God damn, you can't make this shit up.
High from a sexual perspective doesn't really make you wifey material. These are, for lack of a better word, the bimbos. All surface, no substance. They'll have fun with you. They'll sleep with you. They'll date you. They'll go on trips with you. They might even buy you gifts. But they likely have no intention of putting a ring on your finger and starting a family with you. Or if they do, you may have a passive role. Trophy wife isn't what it used to be because men have standards, and although they take pride in your beauty, they don't want you to embarrass them in front of their peers. And this is where even very attractive women struggle, because a high-value woman is more than just looks. Looks are a depreciating asset, meaning if looks are all you bring to the table, your perceived value over time decreases as your youthful beauty begins to fade, and then you're seen by these men as a liability. Even if they get married, these are usually the women replaced with a younger spouse, because the kind of men they attract only...
That's where you get these, like Michael Jordan, get a younger girl. All these dudes who are famous, been married, and XYZ, to get somebody younger. You ready? They go younger.
I just want to say that in the immortal words of Kevin Samuels, name an asset that gains value with use in time. Any asset that gets better with use in time. Okay, we're back.
It's about looks. Number 11.
That was it anyway. Okay. But listen, there's literally nothing to say. What do you bring to the table? I am the table. No, you're not. You have to bring something else, because what you're bringing to the table, how you look, the size of your behind, the size of your breast, that's really nice today. But in 5 years, none of that'll look the same. In 10 years, you'll look like a totally different person, unless I'm spending money or we're spending money, whatever, to maintain a facade. And if that's all you have, once again, at one point or another, I do want to do more than just have sex with your body. If otherwise, I might as well trade you in for a younger, better model. You're not the table, boo. You got to bring something to the table. You about to say something?
Message.
So once again, this isn't us. This isn't the Chop Team. Uncle Kev said this a long time ago. It's a lot of people in the manosphere who say things like this. Don't listen to, can I say DJ name? Should I even bring him up?
You can say DJ.
Okay.
Just say DJ.
Don't listen to DJ. DJ will have you thinking all of the things that they're calling a low-value woman that you've heard so far, DJ has basically pushed on you and made it sound like you were great. He's lying. That's all he's ever done. Uncle Kev told you the truth and you hated him for it, but nobody's telling you the truth anymore. They're saying this behind closed doors, but in reality, here's what they think about you. Number 11.
High body count. Everyone has their own metric to what a high body count means. But really, a low-value woman is available, if you catch our drift, and has a reputation for being available. Men approach her as a casual fling, not as a meaningful partner, because they know she's okay with it. She's done so plenty of times in the past. Look, everyone's got a past, but if yours openly looks like a sausage factory, well, you can't really question why some high-quality men or women wouldn't be looking for that in a spouse. Number 12.
Ooh.
Body count does matter. And the fact that you're going to sit there and say, well, men do it too, we're not the same.
We're not.
We're not the same. We just not the same. And also, I want to say this too. We don't have a timetable. You know what I'm saying? As long as we can we can have kids. We can have life. But you have a timetable. And then on top of that, as the lady said on the previous one, if you ain't keeping up the part what you got, we get something much younger and better.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I heard.
And once again, this is not the Top Team. This is the what's it called again?
Alux.com.
Alux.com on YouTube. Mm-hmm. The video they're talking about is a high value woman.
No. Low value. Signs of a low value woman.
The opposite. I mean, they're talking about both. But first, what they do, they start talking about the low value woman. And if you listen to the key things they're saying about the low value women, they're talking about our sisters. And then, of course, if you go to the channel and look at the video, when they talk about the high value woman, she's not a sister. I'm just going to say it like that. Mm-hmm. And I just want y'all to know, the DaChop Team, we're just putting out there so you have we want to know, we'll let you know, because if you don't know now, this is what they think about you.
And I mean, honestly, I'm always throwing people's name out. Look at Future. Future, to us as men, we think Future trash. We think he's low value. But every woman who he touches becomes a low value woman. He's making them. I watched the video. I can't tell you who was on it, but the girl said, if you sleep with me, that makes me a slut. But you slept with me. What does that make you? The dude looked at her, smiled, and said, a slut maker.
No comment.
Honestly, like we always talk about it for year after year after year. You can't do, your body count does matter. No, if you pretty much got ran through in your 20s, you're done. We don't. Let me clarify for men that I know and talk to. 10 years ago, we wouldn't have blinked because we didn't know. We didn't have channels like this. We didn't have communities like this. All of this stuff flew under the radar. 15 years ago, no idea this could happen. I still thought women were sugar, spice, and everything nice. Today, I would feel, if I talk to a woman, I'd be like, so name one. I mean, how many men you had before you met me? First off, if she say she have less than 5, I know she's lying. I'm 40 years old. Guarantee she got at least 15 bodies. But because I now understand that 15 truthfully for like most women needs to be multiplied by 5. I'm sorry.
5. I think I'll say multiplied by 2, but you said multiplied by 5.
75 ain't that much for a 40-year-old woman.
I understand. Go ahead.
Is that what? So once again, body count does matter. It doesn't matter as much to me because I'm not trying to be a father no more. I ain't trying. But I also know that even when I was dating, some of the stuff I let slide, I missed in my youth. I now realize that I was a blind simp who was willfully ignorant. My girl couldn't be trusted. She did untrustworthy things. And even if I was to talk to her or have a conversation with her, you can tell. Well, here's the thing. I said this years ago. I didn't understand how truthful it was. Men have fun with men and by ourselves. We can have fun. Women never have fun by themselves.
Let's be clear here, because now they taking it out of context. When we say men have fun, we talking about we go hang out, play ball, sports.
No homo.
Right. We gotta be clear. We go to the Buffalo Wild Wing, hang out, and it's just a good time.
We can shoot basketball, shoot pool, and part ways without any intimacy.
Right. We can go to the club and don't get mad if one girl chooses me or chooses him.
Okay.
Shoot, there been times we took one for the team.
Exactly.
Now, on the other end, y'all getting a whole fight. Like, girl, I saw him first. He talking to me, and then y'all fighting over this dude that you don't even know. But
well, like I say, just so you know, I meant nothing physical. Men can enjoy the company of other men. We can smoke cigars, drink beers, and talk shit and go home. But most women really only enjoy themselves in the company of men. I've seen it. I got plenty of family and friends. Y'all don't even have a good night at the club unless y'all got hit on by about 30 different men. You need men to have fun. Men don't need women to have fun. That counts. But once again, we've said it, but this ain't about us. This is what
they
think about you. Number 12.
Emotionally manipulative. Low-value women are manipulative by nature. They try to trap people by being mischievous. These are the women that cry when you tell them they're wrong. They're the women who trap men emotionally, saying that they would harm themselves if their partner left. They've got no problem with lying to get what they want because they're gaslighters. She plays the victim card, throwing the blame on others and taking no responsibility. When faced with the truth, she breaks down emotionally. She might say things like, "You don't see I'm already hurting. Why are you hurting me even more?" as a way of escaping the situation. These women have no regard for the truth. She would rather ignore you than apologize for being wrong. And if she does apologize, she expects you to make it up to her for putting her in that kind of situation. She'll keep moving the goalpost, twisting the facts, or throw up smoke screens to deflect from the truth.
Deflecticon.
Number 13. Cares.
Hey, you said that was a good one. Oh man, I've been in those type of relationships.
Nail on the head.
And the crazy part, like Seth thought y'all had said back in the day, 10 years ago, didn't know, right?
No idea.
I think social media has definitely hurt the lady now going forward, because the knowledge that we don't, I'll say this, the knowledge that men didn't have because fathers wasn't around them to raise them, teach them about women and stuff like this. Now we have social media to teach us and show us. You know what I'm saying? You got men there to show you what these women are doing and how to move and navigate through these things now. And now, you know what I'm saying? All the dad got to do now is turn TV on. Look, son, don't listen to me. Let's go to Instagram. Let's go to TikTok. Let's go to Facebook. We just scroll down and I can show you what they don't. You don't believe me? Look, she twerking, right? What's in the background? A little kid. Now tell me how would you feel if that was your son or daughter in the background, but she in her panties twerking? How do you make that? How that make you feel? Mm-hmm. I'm done.
Well, I want to add on to that about that. Facts that I just kept track. I just checked the other day. Uncle Kev passed away in May.
Yes.
He had 1.4 million subscribers when he passed away. I went to Social Blade Thursday or Friday just to run his name through. Since even in death, he hasn't put out any new content since May, of course, right?
Right.
He's still getting 300,000 views every day. 300,000 views on his old videos every single day since he's died. You do realize that's millions of views, right? And his current his current subscriber count is 1.56 million. This dude has added 100,000 subscribers since he passed away.
Message.
You don't. Let's say we wake up tomorrow, and women collectively come together. Y'all have some kind of convention, and y'all decide to change your behaviors, right? It doesn't matter. Because you're going to be under the microscope for years. Because in 10 years, no, let's say my son has a kid today. In 15 years, I don't have to have this conversation. I can pull up a crispy clean Kevin Samuels video from 2022 and have him watch it, and it could be 2040. He could sit there and watch that brand new crispy clean as if it happened today. Your lady's messed up. This stuff doesn't go anywhere just because we stop talking about it. I can, you've created a situation. You did it in front of the camera. You've done OnlyFans in front of the camera. With facial recognition, this is my warning. With facial recognition software, if you have a tattoo, you're in trouble. Because the same as that facial recognition software can recognize your face, it could also recognize distinguishing marks. And there's very few things more distinguishing than, a tattoo. You're not hiding much of nothing. And in 15 years, when your kid decide to see what mommy did, or in 20 years when your grandkids decide to see what grandmama was doing, and they pull up her high school pictures on the internet, they're also going to pull up everything else that fits that particular search.
He has a point there. And the reason why I say he has a point because my parents and my grandparents, there was no social media. Mm-mm. But still, I still try to search and find my lineage, right? Even though social media it wasn't out back then, but I still did it, right? Trying to find my dad, my mom, grandma, auntie, just try to see I can find any type of family tree. So what he's saying is actual fact. But now my kids and their kids will have content. So even now, if my great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter or granddaughter type in Dwayne Harrington or Twins Inc., guess what they're going to find? This right here.
And
anything else I posted in my past history of sports or whatever else is there. The social media does not go away. It's there forever. Patrice O'Neal, he has passed away decades ago.
Yeah,
but his content is still irrelevant today.
I was watching him yesterday. I watched a couple of his shows yesterday.
Go ahead. Let's go to the next one.
But once again, just to make sure y'all heard, in case y'all just tuned in. But what do they think about you?
This is what they think about you. They understand the they part. This is what
about
they.
us.
This ain't the DaChop Team. This is what they think about you.
And fair use, full disclaimer. Here you go. Number 13.
About impressing other women. She thinks because she's a side chick with a Birkin bag that she's superior to a happily married woman with children or one who has built a career for herself. Low-value women associate love and happiness with material possessions. There's even a trend on TikTok where women say their men no longer love them because they refuse to buy them a Range Rover. Although it tries to play off as funny, it's an indicator to where the culture is at right now. She doesn't care whether or not you guys are a happy couple if she can't show it off on expensive holidays. Instagram and flexing culture has transformed the modern woman into one that's obsessed with playing status games. Average women now demand their partners take them on holidays in the Maldives, give them luxury gifts and experiences, despite both of them being average earners. The pressure they put on is sacrificing the long-term wellness of the family so they can earn likes on social media and feel superior to other people online.
The Birkin bag. Was that like last year? A Birkin bag? That was a big thing.
Still red bottom Birkin bag.
All that. Even with the what they said, you don't love me, why? Because you didn't buy me a Range Rover. I seen plenty of those. And like she just said, I mean, it's entertainment, but it kind of shows you the state of our community.
What about, I don't do coffee dates. He want to go get a coffee. If he ain't feeding me, we ain't going out. Why I got to spend that kind of time and money just to get to know you?
Or they shame you, say, well, if you ain't got it, then, you know what I'm saying, you should be going out anyway.
Shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right. Listen, there's nothing else for us to say. That was pretty self-explanatory. Here's what they think about you. Number 14?
14.
No.
For her life. You see these low-value women go through life.
You might have missed it. The number 14 is she doesn't have a plan for her life. Okay?
Like there's no tomorrow. Their belief is that they'll figure it out at some point. And although that might work out okay in your early 20s, assuming you don't accidentally get pregnant, once 35 rolls around, things start feeling differently. Life is kind of like a tasting menu at a good restaurant. You start with one dish, then the next, and then the next, and eventually you end up with dessert, you pay the bill, and you go home. Low-value women have no plans for their lives. They don't know what they want to be when they grow up, and they're getting older fast. No matter how much moisturizer you slather on, this doesn't negate the fact that you wasted the last 15 years or more of your life without making something of yourself, or at the very least, figuring out who you are. All of them think they can go into real estate because they've watched Selling Sunset on Netflix. They lack both the skills required to win in the marketplace or make a good housewife. Low-value women just exist. Whenever questioned about it, they'll tell you, I've got time. Their favorite go-tos are they might go back to school or are looking to start a business, but they're not sure what kind yet. Number 15.
Damn. When he said the real estate one, though?
Shots fired.
Hey,
click,
once
click,
again, I
boom,
want to be
boom.
clear, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the DaChop Team. This is not us talking.
This ain't.
we bring this to your attention that this is how they think about you. Okay, my sisters, they're placing all you in this low value category.
And the bad part is, from personal experience, I mean, they had the worst part about it, and I would like to argue, but I can't. They haven't lied yet. They haven't told an untruth. There's nothing that they've said that I could
debunk. Yeah. Or something. They haven't said anything that we haven't heard already.
Exactly.
From our sisters, our queens. And when we go in these spaces where we have open dialogue with people on fan base, Clubhouse, Instagram, whatever, the things they're talking about is what come out the lady's mouth. And you think like, oh, I'm a high value woman because X, Y, Z, but really, once again, this is how they look at you. I want you to be very clear. Because we don't control nothing. Let's call it what it is. We don't control nothing out here. Mm-hmm. How many of us? How many black-owned car makers is there? I'll wait. How many black-owned telecommunication there is? I'll wait. How many of us own land? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you go to these real estate companies and get loans, how many of us own banks? I'll wait. How many of us have own electricity companies? I'll wait. How many of us own water, resources? I'll wait. So everything you think you can do, you don't need nobody. They're saying it's about you. Before they were saying behind your back. Now they have over 200,000 views on this topic here. Less than 7 days. Mm-hmm. Less than 7 days. I want to be clear. On Tuesday, it was 71,000. As of today, right now, 200,000. Mm-hmm. And they're out really talking about low value women, and they're talking to you sisters.
Yep.
My thing is this: where's the smoke at?
Yep.
That's where I'm on. I'm on that time. Where's the smoke at?
And I personally want to add this little caveat because, you know what, this one it's easy to look at this particular topic and think it don't apply to me or I got a plan for my life, but no, you don't. Let me add once again statistic time.
Go ahead.
Black women specifically have a huge portion of student loan debt. A huge. You don't make up that much of the population, but a huge portion of that $1.2 trillion that females hold in this country for student loan debt are being held by black women. You guys. And a lot of you guys got degrees in stuff that don't make any sense. You got degrees in sociology.
Facts.
You got degrees in interior design.
Facts.
You got a degree in business. You got a degree in what's that? Women's studies. All right. This is real. I'm in a situation right now trying to keep a young lady from doing something that I don't know if I can stop her from doing. But she wants to go to a specific school. She's not done a whole bunch of things to facilitate going to that school. And the tuition for 4 years to go to that school looks at about $120K. She's going to end up having to take out the vast majority of that $120K in student loans if she wants to go to that school, right? And what she wants to get a degree in is business. And her plan for after college, it doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. I can't really tell you. I'm not going to go into a personal business, but once again, I said go to school. If it doesn't end in engineer, technician, IT, medical field or something, you can't take out $120,000 in student loans for a job that'll only pay you $50K as a median income in 10 years. That's a waste of money. But you know what I get? I'll figure it out. It's what I want to do. Okay. So I'm stepping back and I'm just watching this train wreck happen because you can't talk certain people out of doing what they want to do. But we looking here. This is what they think about you. I think it too, but this is just me talking to you, and you think that I'm just one individual. No, it's a broader audience out there watching you, and here's what they think about you. Rep number 15.
They need to be right all the time. There's no conflict resolution with low-value women. They simply want to win at all costs. They will not fold when faced with facts. They'll even tell you that they have their own truth in their magical reality that they've built for themselves. Because what they feel is more important than the...
I'm sorry.
My own truth. You know, until I heard that one, well, this is my truth.
I paused it because I couldn't just let this whole... This, even though it's number 15, this is the real poison. I've been in the conversations with people that literally made up new definitions for words. And I'm like, that's not in Webster's. That's not even in the Urban Dictionary. Made up new definitions for words to justify some BS instead of owning and saying you was right. Lady, this is the truth. This is
number 15.
I'm gonna let it finish, but this is the gear that needed to be ground for me in my life. Y'all just gotta be goddamn. No.
Their empowerment becomes predatory in nature. Low-value women no longer want to show any sign of weakness, and in their pursuit to be seen without fault, low-value women are no longer willing to admit when they're wrong. They will argue and argue with you on the tiniest of details until you fold. Not because you're losing, but because you're tired of arguing and just want to move on. A successful life in a relationship or in a business environment is one where you can play well with other players. Yet, you watch these reality shows where there's always someone saying, "I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win." And they never do. You haven't learned anything. A powerful woman is one who is powerful individually and on a team. A low-value woman, on the other hand, is one that brings the average of the group down. Figure out who you want to be in life and make the changes necessary to get there. All right, what else would you add to this list?
Okay, that's it for all intents and purposes, but...
Woo, that was tough.
Yo.
That was tough.
Yo. There's
no I in team.
Listen, the last one was the hammer. I mean, the last one was the nail in the coffin. That was it. But there's no actual way to argue with what they said. I don't like the fact that they cloud watch the manosphere to come up with these. They didn't give a shout out to anybody. They didn't say,
nope.
Yo, thank you, Kevin Samuels. Thank you, Crimson Cure. Thank you, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Thank you, Coach Greg Adams. Thank you, Donovan Sharp. Thank you, O'Shea Duke Jackson. They didn't give thanks, but they're basically telling their people, and I'm going to say their men because it's not for our audience, to basically avoid people of our complexion without ever once saying BWs. But we all know who they were talking about. They basically called y'all BWs for every action that y'all have taken.
Listen, if you feel, because feel, which I do a lot, that none of those points if you feel this one relate to you, I guarantee one of those 15 points, one of those things came out your mouth.
Well,
that's the minimal. I'm sure it came. I know it came out, but I'm saying they hit on every single nail where you really couldn't avoid it.
Well, and how about this? I'll throw you a bone. You know what? Here, fetch. Here's a bone. The very, very, very few of you that actually might navigate all 15 of them, that's the one they'll let you in. It's always one person. Kamala Harris is the vice president. They'll let you through the cracks, but the vast majority of people are screened out. So yay, that one person. They don't care about the sisterhood. They want the cream of the crop. The rest of y'all can rot. Y'all are throwing away the black community, in my opinion, chasing something that the broader society. This is what they think about you in the broader society. But we as people of color who's supposed to be down here together, we putting up with it too. Every woman I know is low value, up to and including my mother. So she ain't no angel. I'm sitting here, honesty dictates that I say, I don't know one woman who passes.
That's tough.
I could be wrong because I don't know every woman in your life. But
no, true. But go ahead and give that company and the channel a shout out. Not a shout out, but where people can listen and watch the video for themselves. Cause I think once they watch it too, they really gonna feel it.
Yeah, once again,
go ahead.
alux.com, alux.com, com. I didn't subscribe to the channel. I don't plan on going back to watch, but I will be monitoring from now on. I will monitor. The true channel I want to give a shout out to is once again the Crimson Cure.
Facts.
Ladies, if you want to try to fix some of the things that might be going on in our community, you're really gonna want to listen to this young lady. She has what Shahrazad Ali had about 3 decades ago. She's worth listening to. Total shots out and support. So,
yeah, I was just trying to see if she had her schedule, because I'll love to give everyone who's listening now later on where they can go and listen to her when she goes live. But she goes live all the time. She has content like one day ago, a couple hours, 5 hours ago. So she's constantly live. You can catch her stuff live, whatever. Mm-hmm. On her page it has the morning show 10 a.m. Central Time, live cookout show 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday 3:30. So she's live all the time. Mm-hmm. So make sure you go to her channel, The Crimson Cure. Her name is Kendra Davis, and she dropping the hammer, but she's speaking to the femininity of women. You know what I'm saying? How we can be better as a whole, right? Mm-hmm. So pretty much, if Kevin was still alive, them two could probably do a show together on the panel, and like it'd have been dope to have them and Kevin talk to the guys, or he talked to the woman and she talked to the man. Either way, it'd have been great to have them both of them on the panel at the same time, because they're speaking the same language. But the one thing I want to make sure is that this conversation we're having today is not about us. It's not about the DaChop Team trying to say we're proving a point.
Nope. I'm not happy. I'm not happy that they did this.
Facts. Right. We're not. So we're exposing it, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, I hope y'all take it like that.
They may not.
Well,
but it is what it is. So thanks for tuning to the DaChop Team.
Yeah. This is Seth the Dart Child.
Hey. Sundays, 3 p.m.-ish, we live here. If you want to be part of the show, reach out, DaChopteam at Gmail, Instagram, DaChop Team, Fanbase, DaChop Team, IG Twins Inc., IG Seth the Dark Child. There's sitting links to the video on YouTube, live recording every Sunday-ish at 3 p.m.-ish. But the shows drop every Monday morning at 7 a.m. on all major platforms for podcasting. So once again, it's DaChop Team, Twins Inc., Seth the Dark Child. We out.
Peace.
Bum, bum, bum.